to turn it over to someone who I think can give you a much better example than I've articulated. But I'm going to introduce, I'm going to have Addy Porter come up. And Addy is the Community Service Director at John Thomas Dye School. And John Thomas Dye went through a phase where they really grappled with this conversation. Addy's going to actually share a little bit about that, as well as an example, and really how that looks today, so you can get a clear picture for yourselves of the distinction community service and service learning.
You're welcome. Very nice. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm very, very excited about being here today and telling you just briefly about what happened at our school to be able to make our school a better place for understanding the difference between service learning and community service. I've been a director at the John Thomas Dye School for probably over 15 years now. When I first came into the school, I noticed that the service that we were doing in the school was mostly parent-directed service, and sometimes administrative decisions were made that came from special holiday things that we would do, but it really never had any meaning besides, oh, we'll just do this little project. We'll have something for one voice during the holidays. We'll gather cans and things like that. And it didn't really, the kids weren't really impacted by it. And so I was given the charge to try to change our service learning program to be service learning. And I think it's very funny because today I teach kindergarten. That's my thing. And then this is my love. And I had this class today, and I was telling everyone that I was going out to an ECSL meeting, and they all looked to me, and they thought, what is that? And one of the parents said, oh, that's about service learning, and another parent said, what is that? And so really, the new generation of the kids that are coming up, a lot of these parents, they really just have no clue what we want to try to do with them for service learning. And so I'm very excited that all of you are here today to try to get a better idea of what it actually means. And at our school, what I decided to do was, as we've kind of learned through what Kim has introduced to us, service learning is different than community service because it has to do with curriculum, it has to do with learning within school, and so a service learning program in school needs to be curricular based. Meaning that if I were to go into a classroom, I would, as a director, what I ended up doing was I ended up going into each of the grade levels, and I said, tell me what you're teaching. What is it that you're doing within your curriculum? Just boast about it. Tell me all about it. What is it? And so I had the teachers tell me, oh, well, we do this, and we do that, and this is what we do, and this is what we learn. And second grade, I'm going to give you an example to shorten this up. They were learning about, they read a book called Venus Among the Fishes. And since then, the actual book is, I'm trying to remember, it's a new whale. What is, Marissa, what was
Manatee Blues. It's about
Manatee Blues, yeah. But they were all about animals of the waters. And so I said, oh, okay, that's kind of an interesting thing. What is it that you teach about this? And so she said, well, my kids are really interested in the waters and everything like that. And I said, well, wouldn't it be great for us to use the second grade as a sounding board for a social issue about water? Clean water, environmental awareness on water. And so what we ended up doing was we ended up giving each grade level a different social issue topic. And that particular social issue topic drove the curriculum that came from the curriculum that they already had, but drove the projects, drove the whole learning. So because they read the story, they became interested in it. They did projects around the ocean, and they researched organizations about ones that were involved with clean water, and they went to Heal the Bay, and they went to Bologna Creek, and those sort of organizations. And it was the thing that I think is very special about all of this is Kim was talking earlier about sometimes the teachers bring the curriculum to them, but sometimes the kids bring the curriculum to the teachers. And so one particular year, one of the students had said to a teacher, well, I go to this club, and they always have these balloons, and after the parties, they always let the balloons go. And they had learned in school, through their curriculum, that balloons, that float away and land in the ocean, kill sea life. And so the whole class was in an uproar. Oh my gosh, what can we do about that? So they all decided, because it was part of their curriculum, to write persuasive letters. That was one of the things that they needed to do in 2nd grade, that they wrote a persuasive letter to the organization and said, please don't do this anymore. This is killing our animals. And the letters were just priceless. And they actually got the organization to stop doing that practice. So for them, they felt a sense of, I made a difference. The world has changed. These animals out there are not going to die because we did something to help it. So that's the meaning behind, and the kids really feel an impact about doing something for someone else when they can see that they make a difference and when it means something to them. So that was just one, basic organization, one idea or one thought that came from this. But the general sense of the difference between what we did at service learning at John Thomas Dye before and what we're doing now is that each grade level does learn about a social issue, and it's fascinating because what we'd like them to do in our clubs, because we also have community service clubs, is that's when they can have another voice. They can come to our clubs also, and they can say, well, I think this is important. And they basically vote on a specific topic that they get to research and learn about. And it's like a needs and wants assessment for them. They will look at what they think is important. And those actual clubs are more service learning or community service because it's not based within the classroom, but they also have their student voice in that. So that's kind of another thing that we've been working on at John Thomas Dye School. So we give them 2 avenues to do what you really want to do. And a lot of times the students that come to the clubs have a passion about something that maybe their parents were passionate about, or maybe they have an uncle or an aunt that got sick from something and I want to help in this type of a research, and they come with passion. And I frankly feel that the kids nowadays have this in them and we just need to pull it out. And I think the service learning at schools can do this, and I'm really proud to be part of this community that is here to help them do that. So if anyone ever has any interest in finding out about how you can move your particular school from a community service group to a service learning, feel free to contact me, and I'm here to help because it's an ongoing process, but it's definitely worthwhile, and I feel that the kids have gotten a lot out of being able to learn different social issues.